All right, let's be real for a second. Walking into Costco can feel like entering a magical land of endless savings. You see those giant pallets of products, and that little voice in your head starts saying, "Think of the deal. Think of how much money I'm saving buying this 50-pound bag of whatever." We've all been there, mesmerized by the bulk buy trance. But here's the hard truth that's going to save you some serious cash in the long run. Just because something is cheap per unit doesn't mean it's a good deal. In fact, some of those bargains are secretly money pits that end up straight in the trash. Today we're diving deep into the 8 things you should absolutely never buy at Costco, even when they slap one of those tempting yellow sale signs on it. You work hard for your money, and I don't want to see you throwing it away. If you're ready to become a smarter, savvier shopper, go ahead and smash that like button right now. And if you're new here, hit subscribe so you don't miss out on more money-saving truths. First up on our list of do not buy items is fresh produce. I know, that mountain of fresh spinach or that enormous container of strawberries looks like an incredible deal. You think, hey, I'm going to be so healthy this week. But let's be honest with ourselves. Unless you're running a smoothie bar out of your kitchen or feeding a small army, the odds of you finishing that massive amount of perishable food before it turns into a science experiment in your crisper drawer are pretty slim. The research shows this completely, with countless shoppers sharing horror stories of having to toss out half a bag of slimy spinach or moldy berries just a few days after buying them. Fruits like bananas, berries, and avocados tend to ripen all at once, leaving you in a frantic race against the clock to eat them. And let's not even talk about that giant bag of onions or potatoes that start sprouting before you're even halfway through. You end up throwing away food, which means you're literally throwing away money. It's far more economical to buy smaller, fresher amounts from your local grocery store as you need them. You'll actually eat what you buy, and it'll taste way better. Now, before we move on to the next item that's secretly draining your wallet, take a second to share this video with that one friend who is obsessed with Costco. You know the one. You might just save them from a bad purchase. The second thing you should steer clear of in the bulk aisles is spices. It's so tempting to grab that colossal jug of cinnamon or garlic powder for a price that seems too good to be true. But here's the thing. Ground spices don't last forever. According to culinary experts and food scientists, ground spices start to lose their potency and flavor after about 6 months to a year. After that, they just become colorful dust. Unless you're a professional baker or you're cooking huge batches of chili every single weekend, there's almost no chance a regular household will get through one of those Costco-sized containers before the spice goes stale. You might think you're saving money, but you're just ending up with a pantry full of flavorless ingredients that will make your food taste bland. You're much better off buying smaller quantities from a regular grocery store or a spice shop. It might cost a little more per ounce, but you'll actually get the full flavor, and you won't be tossing out a half-full container 2 years down the road. It's about quality over quantity here, folks. Moving right along to number 3, gigantic containers of cooking oil. This is another one that seems like a no-brainer staple to stock up on, but it's a trap. Just like spices, oils, especially healthier ones like olive oil or avocado oil, have a shelf life. Once you open that massive jug, the clock starts ticking. Exposure to air, light, and heat causes the oil to oxidize, which means it goes rancid. Rancid oil not only tastes terrible and can ruin a whole meal, but it's also not great for your health. A typical family just doesn't go through gallons of oil fast enough to beat that spoilage clock. You're far better off buying smaller, darker glass bottles at your local supermarket and storing them in a cool, dark cupboard. You'll ensure you're always cooking with fresh, good-tasting oil, and you won't have that lingering guilt of having to pour money down the drain when that giant Costco jug inevitably goes bad. Continuing our deep dive into the Costco traps, let's talk about something that hits close to home for anyone trying to stay on top of their game. Fourth on the list is sunscreen and other liquid skincare products. I get it, when summer rolls around or you're planning that big family vacation to the beach, grabbing a 3-pack of those massive sunscreen spray cans feels like a massive win for your budget. But here is the catch. Sunscreen has an expiration date for a reason. The active chemicals that protect your skin from UV rays actually break down over time, especially if they're sitting in your hot car or a humid bathroom. Most sunscreens are only rated to be fully effective for about 3 years, and that's assuming they've stayed sealed. Once you start using them, you're introducing air and bacteria into the mix. Unless you have a family of 6 and you're at the pool every single day, you're likely going to find those half-used bottles in the back of your cabinet next year. And at that point, they might not even be protecting you from a sunburn. The same goes for giant tubs of face cream or lotion. Every time you dip your fingers into that massive jar, you're introducing bacteria, and by the time you're halfway through, the preservatives might be failing. It's a classic case where buying in bulk can actually compromise your health and safety. Speaking of things that lose their effectiveness, the 5th item you should probably skip at Costco is laundry detergent. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, detergent doesn't rot, right? Well, not exactly. While it won't go bad like milk, liquid laundry detergent actually starts to lose its cleaning power about 6 to 12 months after it's been opened. The enzymes that break down stains and the fragrances that make your clothes smell like a summer breeze begin to degrade. If you're a single person or a couple without kids, it might take you over a year to get through one of those enormous orange or white jugs. You might notice that your clothes aren't coming out as clean as they used to, or that stubborn stains just aren't budging anymore. If you really want to buy your detergent at Costco, stick to the powder version. It has a much longer shelf life because it doesn't have the water content that allows the ingredients to break down as quickly. But for most of us, the standard size from the grocery store is plenty and ensures every load actually gets the cleaning power you're paying for. Before we get to the next one, if you're finding these tips helpful, do me a huge favor and hit that share button. Send this to someone who loves a good deal a little too much. You might just save them a few $100 this year. 6th on our list of bulk buy blunders is cereal. We've all seen those massive 2-pack boxes of Cheerios or Cinnamon Toast Crunch that look like they could feed a small village. And if you have 3 teenagers who treat cereal like a primary food group, then by all means, keep buying it. But for the rest of us, cereal is a major culprit for going stale. Even with those inner plastic bags, as soon as that seal is broken, moisture from the air starts to turn those crunchy flakes into a soggy, cardboarded mess. Most people can't get through those giant bags fast enough to keep the cereal fresh. And here's a pro tip from the world of extreme couponing. Cereal is one of the most frequently discounted items at traditional grocery stores. If you watch the weekly ads and pair a sale with a digital coupon, you can almost always get cereal for a lower price per ounce at a place like Kroger or Publix than you can at Costco, and you'll actually be able to finish the box while it's still crunchy. 7th, and this one might surprise you, is books. I know. Those big tables near the front of the store are like a magnet for readers. They have the latest bestsellers and those gorgeous coffee table books at what looks like a deep discount. But the truth is, Costco isn't usually the cheapest place to buy your next read. If you check online retailers or even big box stores like Target, you'll often find the same titles for the same price or even less, especially if there's a buy 2, get 1 free sale going on. Plus, by shopping at a dedicated bookstore or even a local used bookshop, you're supporting the literary community and finding a much wider selection than the top 20 hits Costco decides to stock. Unless it's a total impulse buy and you need it for your flight right this second, it's worth a quick price check on your phone before you toss it in the oversized cart. Finally, we've reached the 8th and perhaps most controversial item on our list: condiments and canned goods. I know, it sounds like the ultimate pantry staple, right? Who wouldn't want a gallon-sized jar of mayonnaise or a literal bucket of pickles? But here's the reality check. Most condiments, especially those based on oil or egg like mayo and certain salad dressings, have a surprisingly short shelf life once they're opened. Even in the fridge, that giant jar of mayonnaise starts to separate and lose its flavor long before the average family can scrape the bottom. As for canned goods, while they technically last a long time, the deal at Costco often isn't as sweet as it seems. If you look at the unit price during a 10 for $10 sale at your local supermarket, you'll often find that the standard size cans are actually cheaper than the bulk packs at Costco. Plus, you won't have to dedicate an entire shelf in your garage to 24 cans of corn that you might not even finish by next Thanksgiving. Space is money too, and cluttering up your home with bulk bargains you don't need is a hidden cost we often forget to calculate. It really all comes down to the psychology of the warehouse club. Costco is brilliant at making us feel like we're winning the game of personal finance. They create this sense of urgency, that treasure hunt atmosphere where you feel like if you don't grab that massive bag of quinoa now, you're missing out on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But the smartest way to shop at Costco is to go in with a surgical plan. Stick to the things that don't expire quickly and that you actually use in high volume. Think toilet paper, trash bags, or maybe that rotisserie chicken that is arguably the best deal in the entire building. For everything else, take a breath. Step away from the oversized cart and ask yourself, will I actually finish this before it goes bad? If the answer is maybe or I hope so, put it back. Your bank account and your pantry space will thank you. If this video helped you see your Costco membership in a new light, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. It really helps the channel out and lets me know you want more of these deep dives into how to save your hard-earned cash. I'd love to hear from you down in the comments. What's the one thing you bought at Costco that you totally regretted? We've all got that one. What was I thinking story? So let's share the pain and learn from each other. Before you head out to do your weekly shopping, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I've got a lot more content coming your way to help you navigate the tricky world of consumerism without losing your shirt. Being a savvy shopper isn't just about spending less. It's about spending smart and making sure every dollar you put down is bringing you real value. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you in the next video.